This video is an overview will let you know more about this item, Fairchild Tube Limiter Collection. Remember to give us a thumb up, thanks. The gold standard in vintage tube limiters captured through it and Apollo.the Fairchild 670 and 660 are the most coveted vintage compressor/limiters in the world, with good reason. These 20-tube tone titans, which now fetch upwards of $50,000, impart an unmistakable silky warmth heard on hundreds of hit records from the Beatles and Pink Floyd to countless Motown classics. The world's most coveted compressor, the first Fairchild limiter that audio genius Ray Narmer created on Les Paul's kitchen table, transformed recording forever. Soon, these 20-tube 14-transformer 67-pound behemoths resided in world-class studios, many of which still employ their vintage Fairchilds. For a half-century, the Fairchild 670 and its aggressive little brother, the Fairchild 660, have defined popular music's most revered vocal and drum sounds. In fact, the world's elite mixers often employ 670 simply for the glow it brings to their final mixes, even without compression happening. In 2004, Universal Audio released the Fairchild 670 Legacy plugin, which was quickly heralded as the best 670 emulation available. Today, UA's team of DSP experts have improved the original time constants and gain reduction curves, while modeling for the first time ever the complete tube-powered amplifier and transformer sections of their hardware counterparts. Far beyond other Fairchild emulations, only the new Fairchild collection is based on an accurate circuit models of Ocean Way Studios' golden reference units. New features classic tones. Although the Fairchild Tube Limiter plug-in collection nails the classic sonics of yesteryear, it also sports useful new features for modern workflows. Blend sounds, with the wet/dry mix control. A parallel mix control lets you blend your unprocessed signal with the compressed signal, opening worlds of textural possibilities on everything from a drum bus to a mix bus. Enhance drums with sidechain filters. By using the Fairchild's sidechain filtering, you gain another level of control over your tracks. For example, you can use sidechain filtering to punch up the drum bus to enhance its impact without triggering the threshold of the compressor with the kick drum. Add grit with the headroom control. The headroom HR control can be increased to make mastering applications a breeze, raising the gain reduction threshold and lowering distortion. Conversely, you can decrease headroom, lowering the gain reduction threshold, and raising distortion for grittier textures that work on everything from vocals and drums to guitar and bass. Combined with the electro-optical LA2A and FET-based 1176 compressor plugins, the Fairchild's unique tube-driven sound completes the compression triple crown. Renowned for its aggressive power on piano, bass, and guitar, the 660 is a stereo/mono version of the original mono compressor, while the flagship 670 is a full stereo compressor that can inject vibrant color into tracks or add the final touch to mixes. The Fairchild Tube Limiter collection includes two native UAD plugins, Fairchild 660 and Fairchild 670, and three UAD 2 plugins, Fairchild 660, Fairchild 670, and Fairchild 670 Legacy. Fairchild 660. The original Fairchild 660 hardware is a single-channel, monophonic processor. The UAD Fairchild 660 plugin was faithfully modeled from the original 660 hardware, independently from the Fairchild 670 plugin. Modeling.the Fairchild 660 may be handy with mono sources, or when less control is required via its simpler interface. The Fairchild 660 controls are identical to one channel of the Fairchild 670. The Fairchild 670 is the two-channel, stereo, workhorse revered by engineers and producers worldwide. Second-generation algorithms. The newest state-of-the-art algorithms in the Fairchild Tube Limiter collection take full advantage of advances in DSP modeling and processing power, along with the design sophistication and expertise gained since the original Fairchild Legacy plugin was developed. Like the differences between the original Fairchild 660 and 670 hardware units, the UAD models in the Fairchild Tube Limiter collection offer variations in threshold behaviors, total gain, input attenuation range, distortion amount, distortion structure, program dependence, time constant subtleties, and more. These differences provides an expanded palette within the Fairchild sound. The original version of the Fairchild 670 was released in January of 2004 for the UT1 platform. To accommodate the limited DSP resources of the first generation UT1 hardware, the transformer and I/O distortion characteristics were not modeled in this version of the plugin. The Fairchild 670 Legacy has a great sound and is very usable, especially in situations where less distortion is desirable, or when there are not enough DSP resources to use the second generation models in the new Fairchild Tube Limiter collection. It also has slightly less overall latency, since it is not an upsampled plugin. The Fairchild 670 Legacy can be distinguished from the two newer Fairchild plugins by the word Legacy in the plugin title and within the interface. The VU meter and the meter switch are repurposed, enabling the ability to monitor input and output levels. The original hardware does not have this ability. In the hardware, the function of the meter switch is to enable calibrating the bias currents. This function is achieved automatically in the plugin, when the balance control is in the default position. One of the design goals of the Fairchild 670 hardware was to facilitate its use as alimeter when producing vinyl phonograph masters. The terms lateral, side to side, and vertical, up and down, refer to the mechanical modulations in a vinyl record groove that are transduced into electrical audio signals by the phonograph stylus and cartridge. The Fairchild 670 can perform dynamics processing on the lateral, lat, and vertical, vert, components of stereo signals independently. In other words, the monophonic, middle, and/or stereo, side components of a stereo source signal can be compressed or limited separately from the other component. Lat/vert processing facilitates maximum usable levels and efficient use of available groove space in phonograph mastering, resulting in high volume recordings with longer playing times. Of course, the feature can also be used for creative effects outside of the phonograph environment. In the Fairchild 670, the left plus right, sum, middle signals are routed to the lat channel, and the left-right, difference, side signals are routed to the vert channel. The two channels can work independently of each other, or the sidechain control signals can be optionally linked.